going on, everybody?
What's
What's
good
going
with
on,
you?
fellas?
Another
Talk
week
about
of
these
sports.
sports. I guess the big issue is the big issue in basketball besides the Hornets losing by 60 points is
Yeah, I mean it's preseason, but that's tough. That's tough.
it is preseason, but I mean I don't know. Does it count more in basketball than anything else, or just like
I mean, a 60-point deficit is huge. Like, there's not really a whole lot you can do to like justify it.
Be right back.
Like, yeah, it's
yeah?
preseason.
I
You
mean,
using your third stringers out there, but the starters play 2 minutes too. Like, that's a L. That's a major L.
I think yeah, they were still in the 50s.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. I know like the Hornets are a young team, so like I expect them to have some sloppy games like that. But a 60-point loss, 60.
I don't know. It made it was baffling. I thought it was a meme.
Yeah, coach got to make the whole team run after that. Like everybody. The
Everybody doing
training staff
spurts.
run after that. Yeah.
But I guess the big story is Kyrie, and I guess players are backing Kyrie, and
Yeah,
then
Kyrie and IG.
Stephen A. Smith made it seem the villain, as he's known to be by I guess association. So I don't know. Did you see the IG?
I didn't see the IG. You tell me about it. Was the first I've heard of it. What was he saying exactly?
Well, okay. So first of all, he said he wasn't retiring.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that much.
And he said he was the voice of the voiceless. So that's another thing. Okay. Then he said this taking the vaccine is not going to make me play the game, or he's like in looser terms, he's not going to get forced to play by taking it. So I guess he was ready to go. He was training with the team. And then the new mandate for San Francisco, LA, and New York came down because he was under the impression that he could play unvaccinated.
Yeah,
Now for those things, those cities in general, they have the certain mandates. I think there was another one, but I forgot what city it was. But New York, San Francisco, and LA. You had to get vaccinated. You can't play home games. That's the Wiggins thing because he's in Golden State and they play in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, San Francisco. But Wiggins, he went and got vaccinated now, so he's clear for all our games. Thankfully, I was so happy.
Okay, so it's vaccine or religion. So I guess the vaccine won. Modern medicine beat the religion at the end of the day. But I get the thing on IG was kind of like all over the place with Kyrie. Like the things he does is all over the place. So it's just like he's not an anti-vaxxer. So I got from it was you get he's trying to get more questions answered about it, and then he'll come to a decision, which he only has 5 days left because the season started. And so he's not an anti-vaxxer, and he wants more questions and more of his questions answered. And the whole, I guess he's just wondering like why people are putting words in his mouth and making prejudgmental statements and have their opinions about it. Then he came
what
to
words were supposedly put in his mouth though? It's like
that that he's like selfish and he's doing this for the wrong reasons, and it's Kyrie being it more than is he more trouble than what he's worth type of thing. Also, he went on the line saying people saying things that they want to say to his face and all that other stuff, and putting down his name and they don't even know him like that, and the usual stuff.
I mean,
But,
it was after the initial thing came out when he said he wasn't getting his vaccine, everybody was saying like, "Oh no, he's not focused on basketball. He said everything that he's other things that he's prioritizing over basketball. Is he worth having in your franchise because he's bringing all this extra attention to you?" So I mean, I can understand why he wanted to say something about it and saying like stop speaking down on my name, but at the same time, like he is directly inhibiting that franchise by withholding from getting this vaccine. Like,
but it's just the stuff he does. It's just like it's just a track record. It was like you can even go to the back to Cleveland. He had a sweet situation in Cleveland. You're playing with LeBron. You won a chip. You were the hero of the game, taking a shot. Everybody only remembers Game 7. So that's just it is what it is. But he wanted to be the leader. Am I right or am I wrong? That he wanted to be the leader.
You're completely right.
He wanted his own team. And he wanted to be a leader. Is that selfish? I mean, it depends on how you see it. So it's just like he wants to go into his own. And I get it. And, I guess one half of the spectrum, you respect him for that and wanting to be a leader and just like, but you can also be a leader. You can be one when LeBron's had one, you can pick up his slack, but he didn't want to be Robin. All right, cool. He was at a point of threatening Cleveland to get him up out of there.
Yeah. And he hit that eject button and went to the Celtics quick, which still confuses me. It's like, why? Like, I understand you want to be the leader of the team. I get that. Like, you want to be the guy. It makes sense. And you next to LeBron, like you'll never have the star power over his because he's LeBron. But like walking away from a championship situation into Boston,
people do it. I mean, you seen PJ Tucker? He left Milwaukee. That was a championship situation. He left that. So not to be a leader, but I guess to do something else. I mean, everybody makes their own decision, right? But then he goes to Boston.
Take a shot. The Bucks didn't let him take a shot. So like, no, PJ, you have a defense.
But then he goes to Boston, and Gordon Hayward's young. This is Jason Tatum's young.
Jaylen Brown, young.
Jaylen Brown, young, a whole young squad. He gets hurt, right?
Yeah, he gets a shoulder injury.
Right, and then Gordon Hayward got hurt first. Right,
yeah, Gordon Hayward got hurt in the first season of the game versus the Lakers, I think that year. Or is it no, that was the year that Brown was still in the Cavs, versus the Cavs. Yeah.
So they play. Kyrie gets hurt, and the team's playing arguably by the media standpoint better without him. And then it gets to a point where, I'm going to get this knee surgery unless he's doing the same thing pattern wise. I'm going to get this knee surgery unless you just do X, Y, and Z. They're like, all right, well, go get the knee surgery. He gets the knee surgery that he didn't need, I believe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he needed it per se, but he went and got it. And then now you're in the...
He wanted to get some extra bone shaved off his knee or something like that, or extra cartilage shaved off his knee. He didn't have to do it, but he chose to do it. Yeah.
Right. So now we're in a situation to where Durant is in Brooklyn because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happened? Did he get hurt? He got hurt in
No, he didn't. He couldn't start the season for something. I guess he didn't get cleared or something. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't an injury. Like he just didn't get cleared to play at the beginning.
I know he was gone for like 10 months.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I don't remember what it was though. I don't remember what it was.
And then that's when and then December started, and then the pandemic, and then he's encouraging players not to play in the bubble, and then. He plays later on for like 7 games, and then he was like doing sage mode, Kyrie, and then just like I need a break after 10 months, 7 games. I need a break. Steve Nash is gonna say no because he's not the real coach, and then He breaks the COVID protocols at his sister's party. Yeah, no mask and whatever, and then he just it was just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie's a hurricane in both on the court and off the court. Like, on the court, you really can't do a whole lot to stop Kyrie when he's going, and off the court, you don't know what you're gonna get from Kyrie in general. So, it's just the question is like, is it worth it to the franchise? It's like, I mean, he is a generational basketball talent. Like that man, he can play basketball. Period. But,
yeah, I mean, we know, but is it worth it at the end of the day? And the only cushion he has is Kevin Durant saying no. Yeah. Even Durant said it today. It's just like, I wish we could all play together, but I'm mad he's not playing, but I can't get mad at him for choosing his decision.
But honestly, like, if we being 100% real, Harden and KD can win a ring together by themselves. They really can. They really can.
They can, but I just want to get what I'm signing up for. It's just like he is there to win a ring together. And then the bonus was getting Harden also on there. So it's just like, if it wasn't for the patterns of him just doing shit, and if he actually like picked a side, just say out your mouth. It's just like, I'm not anti-vax. I was told this, and I just want to do some more research before whatever. Like, he could have got way in front of this.
I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with this vaccine. It came out too fast. There's not enough research on it. I want the details. If you say that, nobody is mad at you. But trying to essentially be an advocate for not getting the vaccine, but just saying that you're saying that you're not anti-vax, like, what are you standing for? Honestly, like, what are you trying to push? What is your agenda that you're trying to cross?
I think the players that are standing behind them, the ex-players, I'm sorry, I don't think there's any current players standing with them, because the current players are playing. So
right, exactly.
These ex-players, these Kwame Browns, these Stephon Marburys, it's just, I stand by Kyrie, but Kyrie's not saying anything. Just like, he's not saying, I'm 100% against this vaccine. I'm anti-vax. He's not anti-vax. He said, I'm not anti-vax. I just want more questions answered about it. So what are you standing behind him asking for more time to get his mind straight? Or because he's not against it.
Right.
And then Stephon Marbury got his, I guess, 15 seconds to say what he want to say about Stephen A. So, I mean, he was a bizarre player. So, I mean,
yeah,
I guess it's just two peas in a pod. So one stage in the court, the other's eating Vaseline. So I don't know what they're doing.
Starberry. I mean, I don't know, man. Eccentrics stick together, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I guess Kyrie is a flat earther, so
yeah.
We'll figure it out. I just don't. If he just got in front of it and just like said how he felt instead of making it a news story first, and then we wouldn't have had this. Like, get in front of it, say how you feel. Just stop sitting in the shadows until you get on IG.
Like, honestly, I feel like Wiggins was more out in front of it than Kyrie was, and Kyrie is obviously the bigger name. Like, Wiggins came out flat at a media day, said like, I don't like it. It's against what I believe. Who up the band. I mean, he ended up changing his mind because he said like it's either get the vaccine or don't play in the NBA. But I don't know.
It's $30 million to Kyrie. They're
my bad, y'all.
Paying him.
What's good, buddy? Welcome back.
This damn I had to hurt me get back here. Whatever area I was in was whoo. It sounded like y'all was robots. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, the ghost reception.
Yeah, I'm here though. I'm here. All right, where we at?
Yeah, we just talk about Kyrie and just like not getting not getting ahead of his own story, so it won't become a story. And then Stephen A. Smith has to say what he say, and Kendrick Perkins, and then Jay Will. They're saying what they're saying. Instead of just like covering something more that has more substance to it. But in sports, you just talk about whatever's happening in sports, and I guess that's what's happening in sports.
Right.
I mean, but speaking of those NBA vets, you heard of you posted Cam in the group chat, but seeing what was going on with Baby Davis and Tony Allen and all them trying to
These
basically
niggas
embezzle money from the NBA in fraudulent medical stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get like 35 fillings for my teeth.
I would get 35 root canals. Fuck it.
Right. Yeah, they altogether they embezzled $4 million in medical money from the NBA. I mean, honestly that's not really a whole lot considering it was 20 of them. So that's like what, like
of course, Tony Allen's in it.
Yeah. Like, why we gotta be all the Chicago niggas? Like, come on now, we're not all scammers. We're not all scammers, bro.
Why is Darius Miles doing it? You have a fucking show. What are you doing?
It's like shit. I mean, I had to buy the equipment for the show, you know.
But the plans are pretty like solid. I mean, if you did 10 years in the league, your whole family's covered.
Right. But they just, I guess they saw how good that plan was. And it's like, yeah, I mean, let me see exactly how good it is. Let's see what these reimbursements look like.
They get these 90 fucking root canals and just like, just deal with it.
I would say they're dumb. You gotta let them know how dumb they are for doing what they did.
Big Baby was getting like complex checks and all this other extra money. He's just like,
I mean,
wasn't he in the 3-on-3 stuff too? I could have sworn he was.
Yeah. So a whole lot of negative. I can't even say what I wanted to say. Negrodom going on between them. Like they just the hood never left. I guess so.
That's exactly.
They brought it right to the NBA, went full throttle. Say, yo, we want to take everything from y'all. Like, okay, like. Darius Miles just had some success with doing the Knucklehead podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was him.
Yeah, him and,
unless that was the one with him and Quentin Richardson.
Yeah, but Joe Budden said it perfect. I'm just glad Zebo wasn't on the list, man. Zach Randolph, just leave them alone right now, bro. I know that's your homies. Just let them be.
Listen, man, I don't know what to say as far as that, but good luck in court.
Yeah, they going to federal court for that too. So
we still on Kyrie, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the tail end of Kyrie, it's just I was just saying in short, the patterns of his behavior over his tenure of being on the three teams he was, him on IG not really taking a stance on what he wants to do. You kind of had to read in between the lines of all what he was saying. But when you can't say you're the voice of the voiceless, because that sounds like you're rallying people that are against taking the vaccine, and then you say, "Oh, I'm not an anti-vaxxer," but then also say, "I'm not retiring," but I'm also saying I'm not gonna take it just to play the game. So I'm just like, just take something.
Because like the thing is, it's not like this vaccine mandate is gonna go away. Like next year, there's still going to be a vaccine mandate. It's like, because if there's not a vaccine mandate next year, all the players will be like, why the fuck did I get the vaccine for in the first place? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, what are you saying, Kyrie? Honestly, like, that is my question. What are you saying? Because I don't know, because you all over the place right now.
So how I feel about it is it's definitely the fact that it's definitely a constitutional right that's being forced against us right now. I mean, to do the I've done the vaccine, so I'm, it is what it is. But we are having our constitutional rights violated, period, by having forced vaccinations, knowing that the chances that it can kill you and certain things like that, like it can do something to you. I know somebody who eyes swelled up to the point where she couldn't even see out of them. You know what I mean? I know people who I don't know personally, but I've heard people who passed away from it. So it's all types of situations that go with it. This is where it gets tricky because it's like this situation is more or less: do you protect yourself? Do you protect your family? What do you do? Like, I feel like Kyrie might be just a little bit selfish as far as that. He wants to take care of himself. But you got to understand is like he can still get the virus. Like they said, he was in parties with his sister. They had a whole bunch of people there.
No mask on.
No mask. And then you put Kevin Durant in a situation where Kevin Durant had to stay out for a little while because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, like Cam hit it on the nose, your patterns are starting to catch up with you now. You
but
bitched
also,
about, I don't want to play LeBron. Okay. You don't play LeBron, you go to Cleveland. I mean, you go to Boston. You go to Boston.
You do
now
fuckery.
You cause trouble over there in Boston. You tell Boston that they're their first choice when it's time for him to sign back, and they weren't even the last choice. You knew you were going to Brooklyn.
Right.
Like that. And then
everybody thought that
Brooklyn
he was either going to New York Knicks or Brooklyn. Like
right. Now you go to Brooklyn and you hardly play. Now you sit there acting like, oh, well, my mind ain't feeling good, so I'm going to just take a sabbatical without letting the team or my teammates know what the fuck is going on. I'm just out.
That's the thing, like, he took a whole season off last year, basically, when KD was out, and then comes back and plays even less games than KD this year. It was like, come on, bro.
But you gotta look at the one IG quote that got me was, "We got to stand together and not divided. I'm not an advocate for either side." What the fuck does that mean?
he's somewhere in the middle. He going fishing right now, bro. That man
That's funny as shit. I mean, he's right. You're 100% right. It's a goofy talk. That's really what it is.
And then another way saying, I'm not going and leaving the game, leaving this game like this. There's still so much work to do.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to do shit without being vaccinated, bro. So you can prove whatever you want. Then the team told you, well, we're not gonna bring you on the team, period, if you're not participating in nothing. Yeah. They're not being assholes. They're just basically saying, they want to protect themselves.
Because the thing is, like, the nature of the NBA is that they have to constantly travel. If he's the one unvaccinated person and just so happens to get the contracted thing, the whole team is fucked at that point.
Right.
The whole team's like, oh yeah, you can't play next 2 weeks.
What's that movie? Did it have Batista in it? Not Batista. Who the hell wasn't in this movie? There was somebody that had it might have been Batista, but that ain't the one I'm thinking about. 28 Days Later.
Mm-hmm. Great movie.
Is a primary example of that. One person don't have nothing. Next thing you know, 70 million people got it now because one person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he goes off to say, do you really think I want to lose money and give up a dream to win a championship? I don't know. You tell me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he said, do you really think I want to lose money and give up a dream of winning a championship?
Oh, I thought you said to win a championship. I said, what the fuck is he talking about? I was confused.
Yeah, to win a championship.
I don't know. He got that pipe. I don't know. He got a crack pipe or something. Like something going on. Like he just
bottom line, he wants to have special treatment. That's what it sounds like to me. He wants to be able to not take the vaccine but play, even though nobody else can do it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Isn't he like Muslim too?
Yeah. And can't forget the flat earth.
Whoever teaching him these things and encouraging him to do these things, he sound like a hippie or a weed person that just like, yeah, man, like this vibe ain't feeling it, man. I'm just gonna take a sabbatical, but I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody. He talking to his lady, and like I'm gonna take a sabbatical and just don't. And then the team is calling him like, yo, where you at? Oh, I ain't coming back for like 6 months. Like what? I was talking to my wife and we confirmed that I wasn't coming back. Okay, but we paying you. Did you confirm that with us?
Now, did he confirm he was Muslim? Because I know he was taking he was practicing. Okay, because he was doing Ramadan
and all the other stuff in interviews, and you know,
he was doing Ramadan and during
you can't practice
season.
another because that's weird. You can't practice a religion and then like don't do nothing about it.
You can't do 2 days fasting. That's pretty absurd.
Ooh,
First of all, you can't fast while you're in the NBA.
Honestly,
that's what he was. Well, listen, it's give or take at this point. And you telling me KD wants to put up with this, and he couldn't handle Golden State? All right,
that's the crazy
and he
thing.
wanted to listen. He had Russell Westbrook, and you tell me he had to get away from him. But you know, with a boy that don't want to show up because he, you know what, my toe was itching today. I guess that meant somebody was talking about me. I want to take a 6-month sabbatical. Like, come on, man.
he couldn't handle Draymond Green and Steve Kerr and the owner taking that situation into their own hands. But he'll like, I'm riding with KD and I'm riding with Kyrie Irving on this, and I don't know.
He got to be kind of thinking about that decision now, like at least a little bit. Just like, I could still be getting rings in Golden State right now. It's got to be on his mind.
That man got that yak. He got them yakking him. That's what I say. That yakking them miles. Like he definitely hitting something. Something getting hit. Like,
but I don't need to talk about Kyrie like this because like he is definitely one of my favorite players in the league. That man is crazy talented. He's a crazy smart dude in general. But like, bro, make a decision. Like, are you gonna be an NBA player and get this vaccine? Are you gonna be a voice of the voiceless and be an advocate for not getting the vaccine? You know, like which one are you gonna be?
I don't think he knows.
He'll figure it out.
He knows. At this point, it don't even matter. I mean, his time is up possibly. So it's like he's just gonna have to just man up and get out of there or retire or something. Like, you can't say you got more left to prove in basketball, but I'm not gonna take this vaccine.
That you have to get to play basketball. Like,
yeah, I don't want to ruin the team. Like, I want to make sure I'm there for the team. Take the vaccine. No. So you're not there for the team.
He needs his questions answered.
He only Kyrie Irving. He can ask anybody. Like
that's all he wants.
To Fauci himself because he's Kyrie Irving and get all the answers that he could possibly want. But I'm just gonna get it.
All right.
But how about that football last week? Week 5, and in the rankings, Otis is a 13-3, so he gets first place for last week. Gus being Gus, 12-4. He's been a steady 12-4. Me on the other hand, I was 7-8. I couldn't get a game.
I don't think I did last
week. Now Chris did yours. Well, not yours, but Chris subbed in, and he was 9-6. So I get the donkey today for the last week. It was just I didn't understand I picked the Jets to win last week. I guess that was one of my downfalls.
Yeah, and then, they had a good week against the Titans. That's it. They had their fun.
They only lost by a touchdown, and then I think I picked bad on the Redskins game because they got
beat who?
New Orleans.
Who they played? The Rams?
No, they played New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Saints. Okay. Shit, Teddy Bridgewater got hurt in that game.
No games really stuck out to me. I think, of course, the Bills game on Sunday night because they just beat the shit out of the Chiefs.
I think we was talking about that, and I said that I think the Bills could beat the Chiefs. Like,
yeah, I knew the Bills was gonna beat Kansas City. I knew that one.
I picked the Bills to win that one.
They beat the shit out of them.
I think we all picked the Bills except for Chris. He picked Kansas City.
Look, that ain't my picks. I don't know nothing about them picks. That was phantom picks.
I think the The only, that fucking, what was one? Nah, I ain't really had a pick that was just like, all right, I'm gonna stick. Actually, yeah, I had Carolina and the Eagles pulled it out.
Okay.
That was my random pick. Eagles winning by 2. But the Eagles last night against Tampa Bay, that was just, I don't know. I mean, I guess y'all almost came back, but you can't run the ball one time in the second half.
It's coaching, period. Coaching.
I mean,
the players is there. The coaching's bad.
They didn't play a horrible game. They lost by a touchdown. So it's not like they was just completely out of it.
It's not the touchdown loss. It's just that Tampa Bay really was playing around with them for the most part of the game.
That's scary when Brady can be playing around and throw for 300 yards, basically 297.
Yep. They got a game against Detroit, and then they got Oakland. Well, they got Oakland next, and I think Detroit, and then they on a bye week. They can beat both of those games and be 4-4 by the bye week.
Yeah, to be above 500. I think it's just like, and then they traded Zach Ertz today to Arizona. I don't know why, but
they really got faith in Dallas Goedert.
I guess. I mean, Ertz still got gas in the tank, so you'll improve that over in Arizona. I guarantee that.
You say you're gonna do what?
I said Ertz still got gas in the tank, so I feel as though he's gonna prove it in Arizona. Kyler Murray.
Right.
That's just
they got a
another
chance to win the
target.
Super Bowl this year the way that they play.
Arizona?
Yeah.
They're the only undefeated in the team now. I mean, in the league.
Kyler Murray's going crazy, man.
Yeah. But Jalen Hurts
they've ever gone 5-0 in a lifetime.
Maybe when Kurt was there. I don't know. Odd to see. But Hurts going 12 for 26, 115, a touchdown, and a pick. That's craziness.
It's a pretty low scoring game in general. It's only 17-10.
I like the numbers because I felt like if you really looked at the game, what happened with that game is that they started to it's hard to define this, but it started to be talent more than it was coaching. Like the players had to use their talent to win this game as opposed to play calling and coaching. Like Jalen Hurts had to do something different. Like the thing is, and this is why I'm always going to appreciate people like Tom Brady's and Peyton Manning's and all them, because let the coach go ahead and be like, yeah, we got this going on. They're going to be like, oh, okay. They're going to go right to the line. You ain't run that shit. Blah, 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 blah. Got it. And the next thing you know, the coach looking at him like, oh, I don't know, like I drew that play up. No, you didn't, because obviously the player's the one on the field. And if the play makes sense to him, he's going to do it. But for the most part, I don't feel like a lot of them players audibles those plays. Me personally, I feel like Peyton Manning used to audible almost every damn play at the line.
Yeah, well, you have to have some type of, clout to change up an offensive play. And I don't think he has that as a, even a second-year player.
He's a rookie.
I mean, he ain't got it yet.
I mean, like, who really has that where they can just play, they can switch it up? Like, I know, of course, Tom Brady, probably like Patrick Mahomes. Who has that?
Tom Brady. I would say Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, just like top notch, like Russell Wilson. Probably. So I mean, you're not gonna see Danny Dimes do it or fucking Joe Burrow do it unless it's necessary. Like if you see the coverage that you've seen in tape, if you've seen the coverage you've seen in tape and you recognize the coverage, then you use that quarterback IQ and just like, all right, we're gonna switch to something else.
Sorry,
but just switching to something you want to switch to. But like really, Peyton Manning was the only one really doing that, just like on the fly, just switching it up like that.
Yeah,
but I mean, the Eagles scored the last 2 touchdowns. There was still hope, but the Bucks just ran out of the clock at that point.
I say this: their receiving core is going to be really fucking good in the future.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good, like really, really good. Because the way Rager played this game, that was how you sort of play football. They dropped a lot of passes, probably more. They had like the one that Watkins caught. That was a good one. I think they got a touchdown called back on them because of Greg Ward. And they never scored that touchdown. Remember the crossing route? They went up and they split they went up. Greg Ward went like this, and what's the name on like what is his name? Our number one pick.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith went that way, but Greg Ward hit into the guy and made that happen. Like did that bump and that was a pass interference.
Yeah, I mean pass. You pass the 5 yards. It's basically pretty much just like no contact at that point. But it depends on the ref too. But it's like y'all can touch each other, but you're not supposed to touch each other.
He pushed that guy up, like try to like lift him up off the ground type of push.
Well, that's a call any day of the week.
So he just did like basically like a full-on block right there to make sure you have his open to catch the pass.
Right.
That's illegal?
What? To hit somebody?
Well, to stop them from, going to somebody else's route. I mean, like
No. They was thinking. I was thinking of the wrong play. That was the wrong play. They both went like this, like they both slanted. But the only difference is that Greg Ward went all the way into his defender, and moved him. And you can't do that. You can't put your hands on him and try to move them like by force. Like if y'all hand with each other because you're running, that's one thing. But you can't actually go in and actually put your hands all up on him and shit, and you just can't do it.
They calling that every time.
Yeah. It's clear as day. There's a whole end zone judge that sits right here like this. Don't do shit. There's an end zone judge and there's that pine judge, that one that's right there with the pine that he can clearly. They both can see the same exact thing. As much as the refs are annoying, they are flawed. They are good at their fucking jobs, regardless if they fuck up. Sometimes they mess up some really important shit, but it's like for the most part, they're pretty good at their jobs.
So some legendary plays. But who you got going? Who got his MVP so far? Just like leading the race.
So the league.
I gotta go with the home team guy right now, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's on the tier right now.
I don't know Josh Allen too much.
I mean, you got Kyler Murray. You got.
I say Kyler Murray or Dak Prescott.
Dak?
Put your faith in Dak.
Dak is fucking balling, man.
He is a little bit, but let's see what these stats looking like.
We can just look at their stats, y'all. Here, let's look at their stats and let's see what it looks like.
I mean, Dak's tied for third in touchdown passes. I mean, Tom Brady is the lead in the hunt.
Well, Tom Brady easily could be the MVP. Period.
Yeah,
because he is leading the league in receptions. I mean, passing yards.
He has 17 touchdowns and 2,000 passing yards. And the next person behind him in passing yards is Derek Carr with 1,600. That's not really like.
So that means Tom Brady is the top right now.
Josh Allen ain't on any top 5 list so far, but as a team, he's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah. If I'm being real, I'm giving it to Kyler Murray right now. I mean, best quarterback, best team. Where it's looking right now.
Yeah, I mean, throwing and running, kind of gotta give it to him. He's averaging 300 yards a game. Rushing wise, 30 attempts, 110 yards. So, I mean, he's making Hopkins look good. AJ Green has had a couple of good games. James Conner is coming back to life over there. And now they got Zach Ertz, so they can only get better. And then for third, I'll have Josh Allen. I don't think Mahomes is like getting exposed right now.
You wouldn't put Lamar Jackson
Mahomes
up there?
Is struggling.
Lamar literally beat my Colts. Like literally came back and beat my Colts. Dude.
Can you keep doing that? I'll say
he keep having late game heroics. What are they, 4-1?
I'll say with the it's just the team as a whole as getting plagued with injuries. They lost J.K. Dobbins. They lost I think they lost Gus Edwards also, and just like the receiving wise, it was never like up there. It was never up there. Like, you got the Marquise Brown, you got Mark Andrews. But he just gets it done when people were doubting him. I think they respect his game more now. So I think Lamar Jackson should probably be fifth up there. You want to put Justin Herbert behind him, that's also fine.
I mean, because Baltimore, they're 4-1 right now. And he's number 5 in passing yards, so I don't see why he couldn't be up there. I mean, he's outpassing Josh Allen right now.
I got him up there. Even he's top 5 passing yards while running the way he still does. So that just says enough right there.
Like, the thing, like, I don't fully understand how they pick MVP for football, because like there's so much difference between what every position does. Like, how do you say like this guy is really like the most valuable player?
It's really a quarterback award, because the quarterbacks get all the glitz and glamour of everything. It's the hardest position to play theoretically, but if you're a running back and you get MVP, you got to run for an astronomical amount of yards. You got to have a Terrell Davis type of year. You got to have a David Tomlinson type of year. You got to have.
So, do you think that they should separate it the same way they always have it, instead of doing the most valuable player of the league? Because I feel like that's impossible to be. There's some running backs that's better than quarterbacks.
Yeah, and that's why they did separate. You get offensive player of the year, get defensive player of the year.
But they call it an MVP, right?
No, I mean you can be an offensive player, and I think they made the offensive player of the year to separate the MVP.
Honestly, I feel like they should just damn near do it per position, because like a quarterback and a fullback, they have completely different roles. So like the best fullback might be doing something great for their team, while the best quarterback is, running the offense for their team. Like, I don't know, man. I see you can do that for basketball, because at the end of the day, the stats are points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. Like, for everybody has the exact same stats. Everybody does the same overall things within those categories. Like, somebody on defense and offense do like. Their measure, what did they do to be measured as good, is so completely different. Like, how do you compare this stat is more valuable than this other stat? You know what I'm saying?
Like, if you put it like this, like you said, they just separate their awards, right? 2020, Derrick Henry had Offensive Player of the Year. It was pretty obvious, like with the shit he was doing at that point. But the MVP of 2020 was Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Which, however you want to, that's how they separate it. So it's just like, for the MVP, like if this person was not on this team, they wouldn't do as well. And they're going to say the quarterback for most of the time. So the quarterback gets hurt, the team downfalls. Now, if you go for an offensive player of the year, you can have Derrick Henry. Would they succeed without Derrick Henry? that's neither here nor there. That's like, I don't know. It's Ryan Tannehill. Like, you can't really do much with them. It was Derrick Henry rushing for 2,000 yards that year. Obviously, it was offensive player of the year. Now, the most valuable player, you take Aaron Rodgers out that Packers system. What they have done as well, they did. That remains to be seen.
No.
But for the Titans, you take out that Derrick Henry. You know, he was, but we don't know.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry was the best offensive player that year. But I can put the last non-quarterback to win MVP. That is a great question. The last non-quarterback to win the MVP was 2012, and that was Adrian Peterson.
Wow.
Every person after that was quarterback. Every other person, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, his third MVP, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and then Aaron Rodgers, his third MVP. And then if you go back further, it was LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006.
So over a span of, you said 2006 to 2021, so 15 years, there were two non-quarterbacks to win that award.
Or if you just want to use the 20-year history, just like from the year 2000, Marshall Faulk in 2000, Sean Alexander 2005, LaDainian Tomlinson 2006, AP in 2012.
So yeah, in 20 years, 4 non-quarterbacks. 4
won the MVP.
Just do a quarterback award and then do other awards. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, this person's the best quarterback. This person's the best offensive player, or whatever. I don't know, just something if that's the case. Because like, what's the point of even competing for it if you're not a quarterback the way that looks? You know what I'm saying?
And then if you want a defensive MVP, you have to go back to 1986.
1986? 1986.
Yeah. 1986.
Isn't that like a saying that defense wins championship? Isn't that also applied in football? Like they say that in football.
Well,
too.
defense wins championship. That's why you give the person defensive player of the year. I'm telling you, that's how eccentric and important the quarterback position is looked upon. And you have bum quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Now, did Rich Gannon deserve to win MVP? I mean, that's debatable. It's Rich Gannon. I know Rich Gannon had that year when the Patriots got, got off that year. But, Tuck Rule, 2002. That year, yeah, that Raiders team was unstoppable, and they got jerked by the Patriots on that one. But, they even had co-MVPs, Peyton Manning, Steve McNair. But it's quarterback award. That's why.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But if you look at basketball, when the last time, how did that get distinguished between positions? I guess to be an MVP.
Mean, it's pretty varied because, you got Russell Westbrook winning a couple years ago. That's a point guard. You got Giannis winning 2 of them. He's a power forward. You got Kevin Durant winning. He's a small forward. You got James Harden, a shooting guard, winning. Like, got the last one, the Nikola Jokic. That's a center. Like, it fluctuates between positions. Like sometimes, it's an era. It's like, okay, we're giving shooting guards in the MVPs in the 90s. We're giving point guards MVPs in the 80s. But it's never been stuck at one position gets it. Like it's just whoever the most valuable player is. But it's easier to measure in the NBA because everybody gets the same stats. Like whether you're a point guard, whether you're a center, whether you're a shooting guard, small forward, you all get the same stats. You might not specialize in a certain stat. You know what I'm saying? Like, a point guard not going to get as many rebounds as a center is, but like you still get rebounds in the game. You're still graded for that stat. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is
I mean, for some NFL teams that are anomalies, like 2000 Ravens or 85 Bears, it's just like those defenses were just like, or just like Legion of Boom type of defenses. But well, with them, they're an anomaly with themselves because it's the defense and it's Russell Wilson. So they're and then is Marshawn Lynch also, and then it's just like they were just like stacked on both sides of the ball. That's an anomaly within itself. But if you look at the 2000 Ravens, their offense was not great. It was Trent Dilfer but if it wasn't for Ray and Ed Reed and all the guys they had on defense, they helped them win games and win a Super Bowl. You're not going to see that too often. It's not as rare.
If that's the case, like in that Ravens situation, like why didn't Ray Lewis get the MVP?
I can't tell you.
That Super Bowl one is driven by that defensive team, and he's the leader of the defense. Like that just makes sense to me. But I guess I know like in NBA, MVP is a regular season award. Now I assume it's the same thing for NFL as well. Or am I wrong there?
I mean, well, 2001. I'm off by a year. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, when they beat the Giants, it was 2001 Ravens. But why didn't Ray win the rookie? Well, not rookie year. MVP. MVP. Who knows? Kurt Warner won the MVP that year, so.
And he didn't even compete in the Super Bowl. But I mean, again, it's a regular season award. I get that, but I don't know, man. I feel like the MVP award in any sport should not be a regular season award. Like you don't know how valuable that player is until you see them take them to a championship, in my opinion, or at least perform well in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like even if your team gets knocked out first round, if you have if you drop 50 for the series, you know what I'm saying? That's impressive. Like I feel like Donovan Mitchell had a significantly better season overall than Nikola Jokic this year going over the basketball, like and including the performances in the playoffs. But Jokic gets because of what he did in the regular season. I get it. It makes sense, but
yeah. I mean, why did Kurt Warner win? I mean, that 99 Rams team, you can't really stop. That was like the greatest show on turf team. So it's just like that was probably the best offensive team, and that's probably the top 5 offensive teams of all time. Just like said, Warner, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. It was just like they could just rack up 50 on you. It's just no reason. It didn't matter what the defense was. But you can also say that about the 16-0 Patriots team. Like they were probably like the perfect team, but then it's just like they lost Super Bowl. So it's a slippery slope in the NFL. So it's just the MVP is the quarterback award, and then you get the offensive player and then the defensive player.
If that's the case, then every year that a quarterback wins MVP, they should make sure that a quarterback doesn't win the offensive player award. Just because of that.
It is. I mean, yeah. It depends. If you throw 5,000 yards, I mean, you're probably going to win it.
I mean, but you should get the MVP if you want to throw 5,000 yards.
You're going to get both. we're gonna give you both. But I mean, I guess is basketball more questionable? than more questionable MVPs than football.
Yes,
I
yes,
think this
absolutely.
fight is real
Absolutely.
question.
Yeah, that is true. Like when it comes to basketball, it's not necessarily, at least in my opinion, not every sports person is going to agree with this, but I feel like it's more of the narrative behind your team than the actual accolades that you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're being real, like if you go back to the '90s, talk about the Bulls, like Michael Jordan statistically should have gotten MVP every year. Every year that he played, should have got it. You go to the early 2000s, Kobe should have gotten it every year. Every year. You go to the 2010s, LeBron should have gotten it every year. Because
yeah, I mean the ones that do stick out is Steve Nash winning MVP, Harden winning MVP over LeBron, Steph with the unanimous one. I guess that's questionable, just for it being unanimous.
I love Steph. I'm a huge Steph fan. That is my favorite player in the NBA. But like a unanimous MVP. Come on now. Meanwhile, LeBron is putting up his best numbers ever in his entire career. You know what I'm saying? This man comes into the playoffs, averages almost 40 points in the playoffs, goes undefeated all the way up to the point of playing the Warriors. But yeah,
I guess Joker was questionable also because statistically wise, Embiid beat him in most of his stats, and then when it's time to prove that you're the MVP, you get knocked off because Jamal Murray wasn't playing.
But I think that's why they gave it to Jokic, just because like he did what he did, missing his essential Robin, the second best player on his team. But like,
Jokic, I think he got it because he played every game.
Yeah, that too. Because I mean, Embiid missed like 16 games last season, which is even crazy. Like considering everything that was going on between COVID protocols and all that, missing just 16 games, shit, that's magical.
And his injury history.
And his own injury history, right?
Double down on that stuff. So, I mean, I think he should have won.
Yeah, Embiid deserved it.
Then it gets swept. Hawks took him to Game 7. But I guess the playoffs doesn't count. So we already got the MVP.
Yeah, but I gotta ask you specifically, Kim. Ben, how do you feel about the Ben Simmons situation as of now?
I mean, if he's coming back, then it's a tough situation because of the money and the contract they offered him, and you add Doc's answer to the media, you add Embiid's answer to the media. You can even add the city itself, the fan base itself, because we're a rough fan base. So we love you when you're winning. You ain't shit if you're losing, and if you're quitting, that's even worse. So, I mean, if you got done dirty, we can sympathize with you and like that. But you have a whole city just saying "fuck you," so it's just like, all right, that's not gonna make it even better. But just I don't know. It's just if it was not 4 years left and it was just a year left, I think all this would just been smoother because even on the team, you can forego a year for a salary. That's easy to get over. Then 4 years, 100 plus or whatever million they had left on the table.
You're supposed to get basically $30 million a year next 4 years.
You can't find any trade value in him, so that can also mess up with your psyche of just be like, oh, am I not good enough is my trade value not up there? Is the team just purposely asking for too much to get a decline in order not to pay me? Well, which one is it? So it's just like, it's a crazy situation. And if he comes back, like they're trying to say he's back, I say you play to prove yourself. So if you can just prove yourself and take the shots you take, we'll take the shots you're expected to take and show some leadership. Like, he's capable of all that. We're not saying he's not, because he has proved it. So if he comes back to play, just prove it to everybody that you can still be an elite player in the league, because he's obviously an elite player. He's a all-star defensive player. Just like, he has accolades. He's a rookie of the year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he was. That's also a questionable one too, though.
I mean, that's questionable. But if he's coming back just to sit on the bench, it is what it is. If he's coming back to play, let's see what happens.
As a Philly fan, you're from Philly, you know how the fanship is out there better than I would, of course. If he comes back in ball, will the fans cheer for him? Will they apologize for the shit they gave him? Or you can be like,
it's never any apologies. You just take these cheers and just you're on our good side. We'll forgive you for winning. If you're still losing, it's gonna get worse.
I mean, but if Ben Simmons comes and plays, like, that Philly team is still going to have a fantastic regular season. Not fantastic, but they're going to be top 3 in the East if Ben plays, period. Like, Ben can have the exact same numbers that he had last year. They'll be top 3 in the East and have a chance to contend for a championship. I'm not saying that they're going to beat Brooklyn or Milwaukee or whoever else ends up being there by the time the season's over, but they're that caliber of team if Ben plays.
Yeah, and I think the Ben situation is overshadowing the other situation, because Tobias Harris didn't play good in the fourth quarter in Game 7. And B.A.E didn't play good in the fourth quarter in Game 7. It was a team thing, but all this nonsense with Ben Simmons overshadowing the team not playing good and the key players not playing good in those fourth quarters. It wasn't just Ben; it was them two also. So just like, the whole team needs to get together. They all need to play good.
Right. I mean, it's messed up that the Ben Simmons situation is the one that everybody was coming in saying like, oh yeah, that's irreparable, and that's getting resolved before Kyrie is getting resolved. You feel me? Like, I know we go in circles going back to that, but still, like, everyone said like, oh yeah, Ben is done. He's not going back. There's too much love lost. But now he's, at least in a position where they're speaking again. He's out in Philly.
Because it's money. It's money. And on both parties at this. So there's going to be a resolve. And there are 3 parties, because Rich Paul ain't getting paid if Ben don't get paid.
True.
So it's all money in the end of the day. But I think it came to that point where we're about to wrap it up. So I heard Then and Now had a pretty high tier guest on today.
Oh yeah, Charlie got the creator of the character B.A.E in the DC Comics on for interview. He premiered that earlier today. Dropped his edited version. I gotta tune in to see it myself because I haven't seen it yet. I wasn't on there. That was him and Ethan.
Yeah,
man, I mean,
I took a look while I was at work on my break.
Then you got a pretty big guest coming up too. This Sunday, for the B.A.E podcast, have Olaniyan Thurman, the voice actor for Team Groot in Infinity War and Endgame, coming in.
Yeah, we got some celebrities coming, voice actors, comic book writers. We just getting bigger and bigger. So don't forget to watch that 7:30 this Sunday here on the channel. Also, watch the sports show. Also watch B.A.E Channel After Dark on Tuesdays. Then and Now is Wednesdays, right? Or it's Tuesdays though.
No, then and Now is Sundays. That's replacing Loose Cannons.
Okay. But another week down. But we have to get our picks in.
Oh yeah,
Mike in
we
here.
do.
We
Can't
do
forget
have to
that.
get our picks.
And you have Gus and Mike sitting there in the chat.
While we're alive, let's do our picks.
Let's see what week 6 is looking like.
Well,
You gotta
obviously,
decide.
we're gonna forego that Tampa game yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, Gus was probably the only one going to pick the Eagles for that one.
I mean, that was just gonna be a tough game in general. I mean, going against the Buccaneers.
We got Dolphins and the Jags in London, so that's either way. I think I think Tua's coming back in this one. So
I'm gonna take Miami. When they start doing overseas football games,
and doing nasty London. They've been doing London games pretty nasty for a couple years. Really fucks up your fantasy when you have such a lineup. Oh, I'm gonna go with Miami as well. Yeah, the Bengals in Detroit.
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals as well. Chiefs and the Washington football game team.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Chiefs they gotta redeem themselves after last week.
I'll take the Chiefs also. Logan Thomas not playing. And you got Hinkie playing for the Washington football team. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll find out. Panthers, Vikings.
Vikings. I'm taking Minnesota.
I'll go to Vikings as well. Houston, Texans versus the Colts. I got
the Colts. That's Mike's team. I think I'm more of a Mike's team on that. I'll take the Colts.
Rams, Giants.
Rams.
Take LA as well on that one. Saquon not playing. It's not looking good. Chargers, Ravens. I think this is going to be a banger.
Oh, I think that might be the game of the week right there.
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
You taking Chargers? Okay. Yeah. I'm taking Baltimore.
Rivalry game, Packers, Bears.
Packers. They always fucking win that game.
I'm gonna take the Packers as well. Cardinals, Browns. No Zach Ertz this game, but Nick Chubb not playing. But they got Kareem Hunt in the back. He's good backup.
Yeah, White Collar's been playing. I'm gonna keep. I say they go 6-0.
I got Arizona as well. Raiders, Broncos.
Broncos.
I'll go Broncos. Fucking, I don't know what's going on over there with the Raiders. They're not gonna get right after Gruden.
It's like in Vegas, man.
Cowboys, Patriots.
I'm actually gonna ride with Dak for that one. The Cowboys.
I'm gonna go with the boys as well. Seahawks, Pittsburgh. Jesus.
I mean, we know who's winning that one. I'm giving that to the Steelers. No,
I don't even fucking know. Fucking Juju's not playing, and fucking Russ ain't playing. The Seahawks defense is super sus. I don't like Geno Smith at all. Pittsburgh still got Claypool. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. And then the Monday night games, Bills, Titans.
Yeah, I'm taking Bills.
Yeah, that Titans fucking pass defense is top tier ass. So I don't know. They got Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley, fucking Knox. Knox is one of the best tight ends right now. And then they still got Stephon Diggs to throw to. It's pretty ridiculous. So
those teams looking good, man. Like they gave up that first game to the Steelers, but they've been looking nice since then.
They back. But yeah. It's to see y'all next week for the sports. Go with his records. See who gets the best record by end of the week.
Yeah, I had to redeem myself after that horrible week 4 I had because that was oh my god.
Yeah, going 13-3 for that one. So we'll see what happens in this week. We got similar picks, but we'll see. We'll see
I
what
gotta see
happens.
what Gus picks are because I try to catch up to him too. He been killing us.
Yeah, he's staying consistent, being 12-4. All right. Well, I'll see y'all next week then.
All right, gonna shut it down for tonight. Thank you for tuning in.